Shalom, everybody. Welcome to the last Israel Brief broadcast, well, certainly for this Hebrew calendar year. As many of you know, in a couple of hours, we will start to mark Rosh Hashanah, the start of the Jewish New Year. So before we do, we're going to take a look at the headlines as we do every Monday to Thursday right here on the Israel Brief with me, Rolene Marks, brought to you by these guys, Lay of the Land. And tomorrow there will be no Israel Brief. It is the first day of Rosh Hashanah, one of the holiest days in the Hebrew calendar, so there won't be a broadcast. I will return on Monday. Monday is the 7th of October. It is going to be a profoundly painful day for us all in Israel, and your Israel Brief might be a little bit different to what you are used to. So let's take a look at the events of the last 24 hours. It is day 362 since the 7th of October 2023, which was shattered when Hamas committed their horrific attacks and murdered over 1,200 people, taking over 250 hostage. There are still 101 hostages remaining in Hamas captivity. So let's take a look at the last 24 hours. And yesterday, I brought you the news that the United States had warned Israel that a possible attack by Iran was imminent. Throughout the afternoon, the Home Front Command tightened the guidelines for certain communities or certain areas across the country. So right from the very top of the country in Metula, that area, Rosh Pina, all the way down to the center of Israel where I am and further down into the south, Israelis were bracing for what could have been an attack similar to what we saw in April when Iran attacked us for the first time from their sovereign territory with drones and ballistic and cruise missiles. Shortly before all the events of last night happened, news broke about a terror attack in the heart of Tel Aviv in Jaffa. Many of you who have been to Israel know Jaffa as a model of coexistence. And in the past year, we have launched the new light rail. So at that time of the night, it would have been packed with people coming home from work, anxious to get home before an imminent attack arrived in our airspace. Two armed Palestinian terrorists from Hebron opened fire on the light rail, and it has been confirmed that they killed 7 people. 5 of those 7 have been identified, and they are all women. One was a young mother who managed to shield her baby before she was murdered, and passers-by took the baby to a nearby hospital. The terrorists have been neutralized, and a short while ago, the army announced they were mapping out the homes of the 2 terrorists for demolition. Now, literally within minutes after that, every Israeli has on their phone the Home Front Command application. Now, especially in the time of war, this is very, very important because not only does it tell you what your guidelines are, but if you are in an area where there is imminent attack, it will warn you to get to safety. And how it does this is quite incredible because, of course, we have people who have hearing disabilities, people who have sight issues. So what will happen is that you will get a rocket alert. Your phone will light up, start to vibrate, and you'll know to get to a shelter. Well, last night we all got a very startling message to get to our shelters immediately. Now, it's the first time we've all received a message like that. And even people who don't have the app said that literally their phones started vibrating and announcing this message. So I just want to take a moment to salute the incredible soldiers of the Home Front Command and probably our intelligence who also work to map out people's cell phones to ensure that every single person got to a place of safety. Shortly after that, the waves of sirens started and the rockets started to enter our airspace. Now, sitting in my shelter here where I am currently with my family, I'm not going to lie, it was quite a harrowing experience. We are used to sirens, we are used to booms, but over again and again and again with very, very loud booms around us. Several times the building shook, the booms were so loud. So what we do know, what has been confirmed, because there were conflicting reports, some said hundreds of rockets, some said about 200 rockets, it has been confirmed that about 180 ballistic missiles were fired from Iranian sovereign territory towards Israel. Now, virtually the entire country was blanketed with sirens and alerts. And we just have to salute our incredible air defense array, which is our Arrow air defense system, our Iron Domes operating, our David Sling operating, and of course our regional allies flying with our incredible pilots to intercept these ballistic missiles, as well as using their air defense system. So we do have it confirmed. The United States participated, and the Jordanian and the United Kingdom foreign ministries confirmed that they participated as well. So a huge thank you to our regional and our other allies for ensuring that we are safe. Israeli airspace was closed just before the attack started, and flights were rerouted around the region. What we do know is that some buildings sustained damage, but there were no Israeli casualties. This is absolutely unbelievable given the scope of the attack. There was one casualty, a Palestinian in the city of Jericho in the Jordan Valley. And what I found quite eerie is that his identity document stated that he was in fact from Gaza. So Iran succeeded to murder a Palestinian from Gaza with their genocidal rocket attack. Shortly afterwards, by about 8:30, Israel reopened the airspace, and Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, who has just been phenomenal since the 7th of October in keeping us updated, spoke to us over the airwaves. He said that the attack was over for now. We had 2 waves of attacks, and he said there will be severe consequences. Now, the IDF tweeted out shortly after that they would be striking targets in the Middle East. We haven't had reports of any targets in the Middle East being attacked. However, I'm going to read to you what Herzi Halevi, he is the IDF Chief of Staff, what he said. He said that we have proven our ability to prevent the enemy from achieving success. We will choose when to exact the price and demonstrate our precise and surprising offensive capabilities in accordance with the directive of the political echelon. Now, shortly before everything started, Prime Minister Netanyahu addressed the nation. He said that there would be challenging days ahead to obey the directives of the Home Front Command and also to stay united. And after the attacks, he also addressed the nation and spoke about the fact that Israel can reach anywhere at any time. That is a warning to our enemies. Yesterday, I brought you a little bit from his speech to the Iranian people. So what many people don't realize is that Israel hasn't just been fighting Iran in events like last night. Israel has been fighting Iran, who has been attacking us via its proxies, Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, and opportunistic terror organizations in Syria and Iraq since the 7th of October, and actually before. We suspect that the terror attack in Tel Aviv and this is possibly linked. However, there is no evidentiary support to back up that claim. But we know that this is how Iran works. But this is the second time since Iran attacked our sovereign soil from their sovereign soil. And Israel has threatened a harsh response. Some pundits say it's likely that we may attack oil fields. The United States has also said there will be a severe consequences for Iran, but said that they are looking for a calibrated response. What that means, we don't know. Only the upper military echelon will know what that means. Iran's attack has drawn widespread condemnation from all around the world. Countries, including Ireland, have condemned the attack absolutely unequivocally. We've had condemnations from Canada, Estonia, Romania, Austria, Australia, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Japan, and all across the world. Notable absence from condemning anything has been South Africa, and also absolutely staggering, the Secretary General of the United Nations did not condemn the attack. Rather, he said he was concerned about escalations and called for a ceasefire. And in the last hour or so, our Foreign Minister, Israel Katz, has declared UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres persona non grata in Israel. I'm going to read to you the Foreign Minister's tweet that he put out about an hour or so ago. He says, "Today I have declared the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres persona non grata in Israel and banned him from entering the country. Anyone who cannot unequivocally condemn Iran's heinous attack on Israel, as almost every country in the world has done, does not deserve to step foot on Israeli soil. This is a Secretary General who has yet to denounce the massacre and sexual atrocities committed by Hamas murderers on the 7th of October, nor has he led any efforts to declare them a terrorist organization. A Secretary General who gives backing to terrorists, rapists, and murderers from Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, and now Iran, the mothership of global terror, will be remembered as a stain on the history of the UN. Israel will continue to defend its citizens and uphold its national dignity with or without Antonio Guterres." And a reminder for anybody who has been watching the events on our northern border, the Secretary General and the United Nations have failed to enforce UN Resolution 1701, which clearly states Hezbollah cannot be armed south of the Litani River and they must retreat to north of the Litani River. So that was the last 24 hours. However, in the next 48 hours or so, we will start to mark Rosh Hashanah, the start of the Jewish New Year. And this year, as you can imagine, it's very different for us in Israel as we live through a war. And as we know that so many families across the country will have gaping holes that will never be filled with loved ones who were murdered on the 7th of October or the 101 held captive. We also think of our soldiers, many of whom are on active duty, defending the country and won't be with their families. And of course, we hold their families, the wives, the mothers, the family members in our hearts and in our prayers as they get through this Rosh Hashanah without their loved ones. So in closing, I just want to extend my deepest love to all who lost loved ones over the last year, those who lost their loved ones on the 7th of October, that void can never be filled, to our hostage families who fight every single day in so many ways to bring their loved ones back home. We don't have enough words to bring you comfort as we know that there is a missing peace at your Rosh Hashanah tables tonight and tomorrow. To the wives of soldiers, to the mothers of soldiers, thank you. Thank you for standing by our incredible warriors as they fight 24/7 to ensure our safety. I want to thank you, our listeners, and viewers. I'm so profoundly grateful for every single one of you over the last year, for your messages, for your support, and for your love, especially during this extremely and excruciatingly difficult time. I want to wish all of you who are celebrating as much as we possibly can Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova Umetuka. May we have a sweet year, a good year. May we all be blessed in the book of life. May we be blessed with the swift and immediate return of our 101 hostages. And may we be blessed with a resounding victory over the tyrants of terror who hold not only Israel hostage on our borders and surround us with a ring of fire and terror, but the entire free world fighting for its values of light against dark. God bless you all. Shana Tova. I will see you all on Monday. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye for now.